having to leave the house, which is why it was necessary for me to make a list now. I needed to feel grounded, in control, and I needed a quick win to boost me out the door. As I scanned the room wildly for something to add to the list, I spotted yesterday's jeans crumpled inside out in a corner. Yesterday's red knickers were still wrapped around the bum, like something Superman might wear on Dress Down Friday. I wrinkled my nose at myself. That's one thing I could do then. Put the washing on. What else? What else? I mentally scanned the day. Brunch with girls. Now that could go on. I needed to pick up my medication. And that reminded me. I should do all that self-care stuff I'd been meaning to do. Yoga, mindful baking, planning ahead. And I should hang the washing up once it's finished in the machine. What else? I checked yesterday's list and felt an ice cube slide unpleasantly down my throat and melt in my chest. Energy bills. I really needed to sort out the energy bills. Don't judge, but at that point I hadn't paid my energy bills in 2 years. I thought about this every time I opened my email and saw a line of unopened emails, all with the placid subject line, "Your latest energy bill is now ready." They were all so bastarding polite, and that only made it worse. It's like my mum's face popped out of the screen, sighed, and said, "I'm not angry at you. I'm just disappointed I've managed to raise such a dysfunctional human being. What a waste of a perfectly good vagina you turned out to be." Just to reassure you that I'm not a dysfunctional human about to ask you to donate to my Kickstarter, I'm up to date on every other bill. Council tax, water, TV licence, even the house insurance. I'm responsible enough to pay extra for comprehensive contents insurance, but not to make sure I can keep the heating on. While there's every chance soon I won't be able to turn my TV on in order to watch it, at least I know I'm covered if someone tries to nick it. In my defence, this situation arose when I moved into my new flat just over 2 years ago. I trusted those stupid meerkats and tried to find a cheaper deal online, but ended up fighting online with my supplier for 3 months about a contract that I A, didn't sign up for, B, didn't want, and C, they wouldn't let me out of. There's only so many 3-hour crying fits down a phone to some scared-sounding bloke called Nelson you can have before you give up and accept your fate, you know? There was food to eat and Gilmore Girls to watch. Life is too short to fight off all the shit coming your way. This was the shit I was going to let slide. It didn't help that all this happened around the same time my sanity took an alarming nosedive. This happens fairly regularly as I'm a bit mad, but this was a particularly bad bout, and it left me terrified of all energy companies. Too scared to complain, too scared to switch, way too scared just to deal with it. So, I had done nothing. For 2 years. Thankfully, they didn't seem to have noticed. I finished my list feeling, if not better, at least slightly more in control. Rummaging through the washing basket, I found an outfit worn earlier in the week, so I didn't have to deal with trying to dress myself, or contemplate how I looked when I was already feeling shaky. I put it on, sprayed myself with perfume to cover up any BO. Classy lady, Jones. And threw an armful of remaining dirty clothes into the washing machine. After wetting my hands in the sink, I smoothed down the mad hair, twisting the rest of it into a couple of buns either side of my head. I threw my makeup bag and a book in my bag and ran for the door. Then I sprinted for the bus, thus undoing all my good work, and once in my seat, applied makeup while trying not to cry about what I'm going to do about energy bills for the 20 minutes it took to reach my stop and dévorer the best brunch place in London. Or, at least, the only place a convenient distance from all of us where we don't have to queue to get in, and which serves a flat white deemed acceptable by Penny. Speaking of Penny, she was sitting in the window, and so was the first thing I saw as I approached. Her hair, a thick, artfully mussed dirty blonde curtain, was tucked behind her ears and shining where the sun hit it. Self-consciously, I reached up and pulled my hair from its buns, loosening it with my fingers and hoping it didn't look too awful. As I entered, I noticed the 2 women in their early 20s at the back of the cafe were doing an awful job of pretending not to check social media to verify if this really was Penny Williams, and I smiled. She'd gotten a lot more notorious since her book came out, and I'm only 30% jealous of her, 35% tops. Really? Mostly I'm proud. But yes, okay, very, very, very fucking